This is always the point at which I want to quit. Almost every time this happens, I make a commitment to myself, to my art, to my creativity, and as soon as I make that commitment, the resistance hits. It comes in like a flood, and it makes me want to run away and hide because I don't go viral, even though that's not really what I want, but there's not like this immediate feedback loop telling me, hey, this was good. Keep doing that thing. And so I want to talk about today, how am I getting myself past this desire to want to quit when I'm 5% in, like before things really even get starting, before things really get cooking and get good. I just want to like give up and run away. And why we're not going to do this time. So let's chat about it. Hello friend and fellow adventurer, my name is Kayla. I'm a multi-passionate creative doing all the things and sharing my messy middle so you don't feel so alone in yours. Welcome or welcome back to Sidequests and Sideeyes. This is part cozy tavern, part strategy guide, and a lot of unhinged chaos. Around these parts, we side-eye hustle culture. We go the pace of grace, which is really slow, and we celebrate every win. Showering does count. Okay, so I've been on YouTube for a few years now. Well, more than a few years, but like where I've really taken it seriously, I've been on YouTube for about 2 years-ish, and I really enjoy YouTube. And I started going down this path because the short form content was just not working for me. I'm very verbose. If you look at any of my videos, I'm kind of this person that just like blah, 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 chats. And I've really struggled with knowing how to show up on YouTube because I love vlogging. I love vlogging, but I'm terrible at vlogging. I'm terrible at like remembering to take my camera places and not feeling cringe taking video of like just everyday life, and then kind of feeling this imposter syndrome of like, well, who's gonna want, video of me going to the thrift bookstore for the 50th time, And I think about all of the channels that I like to watch that are vlogs, and I love all of that. I love that they're just basic and boring and nothing crazy. I love watching them. So why? Who knows? And then last year, I found out that I was pregnant, very unexpected. And so the vlogging became very difficult for me to do. Mentally, I was not well. Physically, I was okay, but like mentally was not doing well, was in therapy, trying to process that transition that I wasn't really ever expecting. Now she's here. I love her. She's amazing. I don't have any resentment or regret. She is so much fun and a joy. But because of that, I kind of shifted into more of these long form, just chatty videos. And I felt very self-conscious about them because I thought, who's going to want to sit, just listen to me chat forever? And then again, I thought about, well, look at all of these YouTube videos that I watch where they literally chat for like 3 to 4 hours live, or I watch these videos where they are just talking. And so it just constantly going back and forth between this, I'm going to do this thing and jumping in, and then kind of like, false start, I kind of stopped, or whatever the case may be. And as a creative, I hate that is one of my, the things that I struggle with. And even though I know the tools, I have the tools to be able to get past those false starts, because I preach them to myself, and I also preach them to other people on like, hey, this is how you get over those false starts and being like, hey, I'm doing this thing. And then like get 2 steps in and decide, oh, you know what? I actually hate this thing. I'm not going to do this thing. And so I decided, well, not I decided, I was slightly bullied by a friend, but we decided together that we were going to just commit to making 100 YouTube videos. And originally we said we were going to do like daily videos, and then really quickly, like we were going to do daily videos and really not focus on them being perfect. Just like, hey, we're going to like quickly just power these out, get better at speaking, get better at like speaking off the cuff. And so we found out very quickly, because we're both moms, we found out very quickly that was not going to work for us in any way, shape, or form. And so we're still, or at least I'm still going after making 100 YouTube videos until I figure out what the heck that I'm doing. But I'm maybe 6 videos in, maybe 5, 6 videos in. And earlier this week, I woke up and was like, what am I doing? I hate this. Nobody's watching these videos. I don't know what I'm doing. What is it that I'm doing? What am I creating? What the heck is the point? And of course, I have a video I talked about, like, what is the point of continuing to pursue your art when the world feels like it is a dumpster fire? And that's part of the heaviness. And the other part of it is when we don't get that immediate feedback of like, hey, this is the right direction, or like, hey, you're doing well. And in a world where if you're going to use social media as a tool, as a creative, as an artist, we see a lot of people like who are going viral, or who like shoot their shot and then go viral and then kind of get everything they want overnight. And sometimes that really is a viral moment where they work, it's like kind of like this overnight thing. But more often than not, it's like years and years and years of showing up and having no positive feedback, and then one day just like hitting the algorithm right and then taking off, right? And so I think it's very difficult when you're like, okay, I'm doing this thing, I'm committing to do this thing and to not give up on my art or my creativity or whatever the case may be. And then it's like you start with all this energy and then you get 5 videos in, 5 videos out of 100, right? And I wake up and I'm like, you know what am I doing? What's the point? Does anybody even care? Do I like these? I hate all of these videos. And realizing like you're at video 5, like you're at literally video 5, like give it some time to breathe. I think something that every creative, every artist is going to have to work through is the messy middle. I talk about the messy middle a lot, and like the creative process is supposed to be messy. And I think we just sometimes forget that the beginning feels really exciting and energetic. And you're like, I have clarity of direction, I'm doing this thing. And then we go after it. And then maybe there's not a lot of positive feedback right away. Maybe there's negative feedback. Maybe there's like no feedback whatsoever, right? One of my videos, I was kind of testing a different kind of genre and sharing more about my experience with real estate. And yes, it's not creativity. Well, it does relate to creativity, but I was like, hey, this is something that I tried and failed miserably. And this is what I've learned and kind of applied to my creative work as well. And like, I was like, this is going to go off because it's talking about real estate, and real estate is like, a good topic. It's SEO friendly, worked on the thumbnail. And I got like hardly any views on it. And yeah, part of it was a diversion from my normal topic. But I thought, well, maybe I'll hit a little bit of a different audience, expand my audience a little bit. And like, that was just kind of hard to be like, okay, like I planned that whole thing and worked really hard on it, and it just kind of seemed like it flopped. And so, it's every creative, every artist has to deal with that, right? I've planned it, I'm excited, I jump in, I do this thing, I release it, I put myself out there to be perceived by the world, and crickets, nothing. Doesn't really seem like we get enough feedback to really know, did that work? Did people like it? Did they not like it? Do I like it? Like what do you do also like when it's like, hey, I know that I'm growing. For example, when I watch my YouTube videos, I can see all the areas that I want to grow in, all the areas I want to get better in. And I know that that's just going to take practice. And that's why I have that video where I talk about quantity over quality, right? Where it's like, you're just going to have to put in the reps and realize that a lot of the videos you make, you're just not going to like for a little bit. And so what do you do when you're like, okay, I know I'm in this practice mode. I'm practicing in public. I'm failing in public. I'm experimenting in public, which means that I don't necessarily love my work. And we have all of this language around, be a champion of your own art and stuff. And I 100% believe that. It's very, very difficult to champion your own art and creativity when you're like, I know this isn't the final form and I haven't leveled up to the place I want to, and I don't really like the character I'm building right now because we're working with like, I don't really have armor or any cool weapons. I'm like working with, sackcloths and like, a butter knife. So I'm like, I'm here, I'm playing the game, I'm showing up, but like, I can't really fight any enemies. I can't really win any levels per se. I'm kind of just like gathering and trying and exploring, hoping that I can level up enough. That's where I'm at. And I woke up this week and just kind of like, I just what's the point? What am I doing? What am I doing? Because I have this like massive vision of what I want my kind of online ecosystem to look like. And I don't know how all those parts fit together, especially now being a new mom and 3 months postpartum and having just lost my best friend earlier this year and dealing with a lot of that grief. I realized that my time, and I knew this was going to happen, which was part of the reason I never wanted to be a mom. Don't regret it. I'm still very, very happy. But I'm still finding my way and realizing like I have way less time, way less capacity, way less opportunity in this season. I know it'll change, but like I have less space in the season to really kind of let things breathe and like take my time on things. I'm like, okay, cool. Even now I'm in my office. I'm like, cool, you've got like an hour, pump out as many videos as you can on the topics that you want to talk about, you know, change your shirt and give it a little difference. And I might not even do that. I might just be like, you know what? I batch edited these videos, deal with it. And it's just kind of, it's hard. It's hard, but all that to say, I committed to 100 videos and I am going to continue to make 100 YouTube videos until I figure out what the heck that I am doing. Because getting past that initial like, ooh, I'm excited, you know, if I want to get to that ecosystem that I want to build, right? This is what I can do right now. And this is what I enjoy doing. This is what I have the capacity to do. So I just have to keep showing up. And I don't know, I think we underestimate how difficult that can be. I feel like we can underestimate how difficult that can be as an artist, as a creative, as a human. I don't know what I'm doing. Knowing like, I know there's a ton of stuff that I don't know yet, and I'm kind of just showing up and practicing and putting in the reps, and I'm doing this in public, which means sometimes for a lot of time, it's gonna be just crickets, and it might not land right because I haven't found my way. But knowing like I don't want to quit, right? Because ultimately, how many of us are like, I'm gonna quit, I'm done, I'm over it. But like how many of us, when we say we're like, I'm gonna quit, I'm over it, we know in the back of our mind, you're not gonna quit. You're not gonna quit. You're saying that now, you're discouraged. And this is why we have so many false starts and restarts, right? Because at the back of our mind, we know I'm not gonna quit. I'm not gonna quit. I want to quit because I want success now. Maybe I've been at this for a long time. And I think that I think that's valid. I think it's valid for you to feel that. I think it's valid for me to feel that. Like, you know what, I've been at this for a really long time and I really haven't ever seen any kind of level of progression, and I feel stuck and I don't really like it, and I don't really like what I'm making, but I'm showing up anyways because I need to do that thing. If that's you, welcome. I don't really have any direction for you today. I just wanted to kind of get on here and say, like, as a recommitment to myself, but also saying this in public because, again, I like sharing my messy middle in public because I don't think we see enough of that. And I think that that would be really helpful, especially now when we kind of look around and the world feels really heavy and overwhelming. I think it would be really helpful for us to look around and see like, oh, that creator I really, really like and admire actually is really struggling right now. And like, but they're still showing up. So if they're still showing up, I can still show up. So yeah, this is I'm going to continue to make 100 YouTube videos until I figure out what the heck I'm doing. I would like to make them quicker, but I'm gonna have to go at the pace of grace, right? Which is what I always say. I'm gonna have to go at the pace that I realistically can do, which means some weeks I might be able to sit down in an hour and get 4 or 5 videos recorded and then kind of space those out. And there might be sometimes where it's like, well, I got none this week and I'm gonna have to try again next week, and that's okay. That really, really is okay. Now, something, I know I've mentioned this in some of my other videos, but something I want to try to start doing at the end of my videos is to drop a little impromptu side quest, because I'm all about side quests. And so I'm like, why am I not doling out more side quests? So I think some of these are going to be just off the fly unless I like think of something earlier, but I'm going to do my current side quest. I've got many side quests going on. If you play Skyrim, I play Skyrim. I love Skyrim. I always have like 100 side quests like active at any one time. But one of the side quests I'm on is this whole, I'm making 100 YouTube videos until I figure out what the heck I'm doing and figuring out my footing and what I like and what I don't like and all that good stuff. So my side quest, my suggestive side quest to you is, you know, what is like a creative, this is on the fly. I haven't thought about this, but let's call this the reviving our past projects. Ooh, the revival of past projects side quest. I want you to think about maybe a project or something you cared about. Could be super small, could be massive, but something that you've kind of left in the dust. Maybe you've had multiple false starts, but I want you to really think about something, a project, an idea, something you really care about that maybe you've started on and you've gotten maybe 5% of the way in there and you didn't get the feedback you were hoping for. You didn't get the momentum that you thought you were going for. And maybe you kept showing up for a long period of time, or maybe you were just like, hey, I was dipping my toe in, nobody liked it, I'm going back in my hole. Either way, I want you to name that thing. I would love for you to share in the comments if you feel comfortable, but I want you to name that thing and consider what it would be like to revive that project. What would it look like? It's okay if it's going to take you forever. I don't know how long making these 100 videos is going to take. I really don't. I was hoping originally it would take me about 2 months, and now or 3 months. Yeah, 3 months. Now I'm like, I literally have no idea how long it will take me to make 100 YouTube videos, but we're going to keep doing it until we figure it out. What is that thing? What is that thing? Revival of past projects side quest. I want to know. If you stuck around to the end of this video, I want to say thank you. I really appreciate it. If you would consider subscribing, I would really appreciate it, and maybe liking this video so that maybe I'm not completely talking into the void. Maybe. The void is cool. The void is fine. But if you are liking, if you are listening to what I'm saying and liking what I'm saying, I have what's called the Do Less Sidequest. This is a 7-day self-paced adventure that's really about finding you in the messy middle of wherever you're at. It's all about radical acceptance, trying to figure out, hey, I don't like my current circumstances, but I'm going to take what I have in my hands right now and try to make the best of it. And it's really fun. I really enjoyed making it. It's a story that you follow along. You're the main character. We are learning to kind of get rid of some things that are like no longer serving us and just equipping some new armor for ourselves on this new journey of, hey, you know, I wanted to give up, but I don't want to give up. So I'm not going to give up, and I'm going to get up and keep going. So that's called the Do Less Sidequest. I hope you enjoy it. I know I enjoyed making it, and I might honestly do it for myself again because I feel like I need it this week. And as always, I like to end these videos by saying, if you haven't heard this ever or much recently, I want to tell you that I'm proud of you, and I think that your life is worth getting back up for. Talk to you later, friend. Bye.